When President Emerson Mnangagwa and his political cabal, backed by the army, ousted the late former President Robert Mugabe in a military coup in 2017, one of the reasons advanced for that was that he had overstayed in power amid a deteriorating social and economic situation. Sarabina mashkubra when the news of Sajiti, Mugabe syndrome grips Mnangagwa and subscribe or like it on the bell icon. TV na wanarudanjira chiti. Mugabe has been in power for 37 years. At the time, in November 2017, the Zimbabwean army initiated Operation Restoring Us, leading to Mugabe's removal. The military framed the intervention not as a coup, but as a pacification of a degrading national situation. The official military statement claimed they were only targeting a clique of criminals surrounding the president who were committing crimes that caused suffering among Zimbabweans. The late Major General Sibusiso Busi Moyo said the army wanted to address a situation that, if left unchecked, risked erupting into violent conflict. Moyo retired after the coup and became foreign minister until his death in 2021. The army, dominated by veterans of the liberation struggle, argued that the ruling ZANU-PF party had been infiltrated by counter-revolutionaries, the G40 faction, who were sidelining those with war backgrounds. General Constantino Chiwenga at the time warned that the military was a major stockholder in the revolution and felt obliged to take corrective measures to ensure those gains were not lost due to internal party pains. Chiwenga is now vice president. The military demanded an end to the reckless utterances and systematic begging of senior party members, specifically the firing of Mnangagwa, which they saw as threatening national security, while not always stated as a direct military objective. A key underlying grievance was the perception that First Lady Grace Mugabe was usurping constitutional power, positioning herself for succession. While not always stated as a direct military objective, a key underlying grievance was perception that First Lady Grace Mugabe was usurping constitutional power, positioning herself for succession by taking advantage of the president's safe-free condition. While not stated, Mugabe overstay and failure was a major factor. His rule was disastrous failure. He left a legacy of authoritarian repression, economic collapse, and poverty on a grand scale. Mnangagwa and his ZANU-PF faction at the time wanted to end Mugabe's elongated rule and ensure Zimbabwe stick to two-term limits for the presidents. The understanding between Mnangagwa and Chiwenga, according to Moyo, was that the former would rule for one term and allow the latter to come in after that. Mnangagwa agreed to serve on a term, and Chiwenga felt self-assured to be the next in line. However, no sooner had Mnangagwa settled in office than he started consolidation of power and his current maneuver to stay longer in power. His supporters started campaigning for Mnangagwa 2030. He wanted a second term. Everybody thought he could end there. They did not know his real plans to be like Mugabe, his mentor in many ways. Mnangagwa represented continuity, not change. That is what many, including the opposition, failed to understand. They wouldn't even heed good advice about it. They wanted Mugabe gone by all means. Soon after getting his second term, Mnangagwa got gripped about the Mugabe syndrome of overstaying in power beyond his 2 terms. Already he was going to serve more than 10 years because he had finished Mugabe's term after the coup. The pursuit of presidential term extension, often referred to as a tenure elongation, became his new agenda. It is continental disease that has spread across the African body politic. Though mashikano bada toka pangwa ino awanism I, and the news of Mugabe syndrome is gripped Mnangagwa. Pinagwa music shimidu za fungu emu rudi pamsepe chitko ichi. So unsubscribe or like, catch it on the bell icon.